Ah! Oh my god, I wasn't ready. Hi kids, hi. It's cold again, so I'm all bundled up. Hi, sorry, I was not prepared. I was standing up and walking around, and then I heard the music stop. Now hang on a second. Sorry, Look, I'm getting my fringe cut tomorrow, okay? I will be able to see again tomorrow. And I'm still not wearing any makeup today because I'm just trying to let my skin breathe still. Now give me a sec. Oh, let me put on music first. Get back. I won't be streaming for too long today because I have to get up early tomorrow, but we'll see how much work I can get done. What am I doing? I popped out. That's what I did. Alright. I actually do have something to ask early on in the stream and see if anyone has an answer to this because I'm very confused about it. I keep seeing people saying that Rox Zebec like caused genocides. Like Rox Zebec was like nuking nations and just taking out islands. Where was this said? And who said it? Because I guarantee you we didn't see it. We haven't seen that. I don't know where or who said that in the manga. I don't even remember that that was said. Right? Because I keep seeing people saying Rox did that. I am currently reading Rox's story right now. There is absolutely no indication that he would do that. Which is why I'm dead confused. It said he destroyed a kingdom early on in the flashback. Now, destroying a kingdom, this is what gets me. Oh, it said he destroyed a kingdom. You can technically say that Luffy has destroyed kingdoms, right? Luffy has taken over tyrants. So did Kuma. Kuma technically destroyed a kingdom, right? This is what gets me. So people are saying, oh, he's taken out a kingdom, he's caused a genocide. We don't actually know. What's my general rule of thumb, guys? Unless we've seen it, we should not believe it, because it's probably propaganda. It sounds to me like whatever kingdom Rox could have taken out was probably a Kuma situation. Remember, Kuma was called a tyrant, right? He was called a tyrant for taking out a kingdom. And the king and its kingdom. Dressrosa as well. That was a kingdom taken down. Hang on, let me look at the chapter. But I keep seeing people say this and I'm like, I feel like that's not factual. And I feel like even if it is, that sounds to be twisted to me. Because we are watching Rox's flashback now. What would possibly cause him to just take out a kingdom for fun? For fun, right? We are looking at the guy right now. Why would he do that? Even the place that he is robbing at the beginning of chapter 1157 was basically a fucking charity scheme. They like addressed that, right? Because they're going, oh my god, we're a charity sanctuary. And they're saying, no the fuck you're not. You're stealing money and pretending you're giving to charity. Like even the place that they were taking over in the beginning of chapter 1157 was a kingdom abusing its power, or a sanctuary abusing its power. One kingdom brought to ruin. So why are people... What I've read is, within just 2 years of their founding, the Rox Pirates were responsible for 16 recorded raids, 76 sunken ships, 14 ports burned to the ground, 5 towns leveled, 1 kingdom brought to ruin. Right? So, how in the world are people taking that as Rox was just taking people out for fun? When we are watching everything he's doing and everyone he's fighting, right? There's 2 sides to this story. He's not just taking things out or taking islands out. The one we are watching him take out was a fucking charity scheme. Right? Because Luffy's done the same thing. Luffy has also destroyed places. And it would read in history that he has destroyed those places. But he wasn't destroying it for the love of the game, was he? I do not believe Rox is the champion of justice. I'm not saying everything Rox is doing for fun. What bothers me is people saying that Rox is just causing genocides. He's as bad as like the world government. And that is wrong. It's incorrect. Rox isn't just taking out places. I'm not saying Rox is the champion of justice. I do not believe he is, because I do not believe that's what pirates are supposed to be. I don't even think Luffy is supposed to be that. Pirates are selfish. Of course they'll be. Not all pirates are going to be fantastic. But what gets me is people trying to say, they're trying to push this idea, no, Rox really is evil. But everything we are seeing is going against the idea that Rox was just a fucking monster. Because he wasn't. Harold destroyed an innocent warship, exactly. And it wasn't an innocent warship, was it? This is what's fucking getting me. People are falling for the propaganda. They are falling for the propaganda. This is why it's driving me fucking nuts, because I keep seeing people saying, no, Rox did this and Rox did that. And I'm like, we are being told he did it, but what we are seeing is the opposite. It's literally, this is Oda's message of propaganda, and people are falling for it. This is quite literally media literacy. This is what he's trying to teach us. Right? And people are still looking at it and going, no, I still think Rox is a monster. We are literally watching Rox trying to save his wife, his friends, his child on God Valley. God Valley that is being protected by the Marines. Actioned by the world government and the Celestials, and they're saying, no, Rox is still the bad guy here. Rox is, like, the Marines still aren't that bad. Rox and the pirates are still the worst. I'm still getting people saying the Marines are still a better good in the world of One Piece, and it just pisses me off unbelievably. It unbelievably pisses me off, because I keep saying the better good in this world are the revolutionaries. Why do the Marines get this label? They do not deserve that label. It absolutely pisses me off, because the Marines only protect what the world government is sanctioned to protect. Right? That is not a good in the world. That is, you only get protection through a clause, basically. That's what really pisses me off, because I keep saying to people, if you're an oppressed race in One Piece, if you're an oppressed person, if you're a fishman, if you're a slave, who are you going to trust and say is the better good in the world of One Piece? The Marines, pirates, or the Revolutionary Army? Most people would not say pirates, right? However, I also know those people are not going to say the Marines. They are not going to say the Marines are the better good in this world. They're going to say the Revs are, because the Revs are the one actually protecting the common person. They are the ones actually protecting the oppressed in the world of One Piece, and the oppressed are the ones that need the protection more than fucking anyone. More than anyone. That's why this is so frustrating, and it's why it's getting me. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Ivor does say there are, like, Ivor doesn't say the Marines are good. Ivor is saying that the Marines have good intentions. So the Marines do also want to help people, but that's the issue. The Marines are in this trap of they're thinking they're helping people, but they're not, because they're under the fucking world government system. That's what's going on. Ivor is saying, how fucking ironic when the Marines want to help people too, but who they're helping is not who needs the help. right? Again, it's protection under a clause. Because do remember, and again, this is what really peeps me. People say, oh, well, if the Marines were gone, the world would be into chaos, the world would be into ruins. The world's already in fucking chaos. The world's already in ruins. What are people fucking talking about? Right? There are tons and tons and tons of islands in One Piece that are in chaos, in ruins. That's where Kaido has come from. That is what's happened to Fishman Island. So people are saying, oh, the world needs the Marines, the world needs Marines. Whitebeard was a pirate that had tons of islands under his jurisdiction because no one was helping those islands. The Marines took out Whitebeard with absolutely no thought for what will happen to the people that needed protection under Whitebeard's flag. You know why? Because the people Whitebeard were protecting would not gain protection from the Marines. Probably because they were maybe slaves. A lot of them were slaves. Slaves do not gain protection from the Marines. I cannot, with my all heart and chest, say Marines are a better good in this world and the world needs the Marines when they can't even protect slaves. How can I possibly say that with my whole chest? How can I possibly say that when they are not the ones that can actually protect the true oppressed peoples of the world of One Piece? I can't. Like, how can anyone possibly say they're a better good? Oh, but pirates are not the ones that should be compared to the Marines. Pirates are outlaws that have been created in the world of One Piece because of the oppressed. Pirates do not have a moral code that they follow. They are pirates. That's the point. This Marine versus pirates is propaganda. We should be comparing Marines to the Revs, right? The Revs are the ones who should be compared to the Marines. I keep seeing people saying the Marines save people from pirates. I see the fucking opposite in the world of One Piece. I see Marines working with pirates, gambling with pirates to gain power, right? From these pirates. That's literally what the warlord system was. That's literally what was happening on Nummy's Island. We had Marines gambling with Arlong, taking away the power from the people, freedom and rights from the people because it benefited them. I see Marines working with pirates a whole lot fucking more than I see Marines helping people from pirates. How is this something people are not understanding? It's just driving me insane. It is driving me absolutely insane. Fishmen were forced to accept Big Mom's protection because no one else was protecting them. Marines were not protecting them. Fishmen literally were forced to work with pirates like Big Mom because they needed that protection. Marines were not helping them. People are falling for the fictional propaganda, and that's what's driving me nuts. And here's the thing, I do not think that Oda is trying to say all Marines are bastards. I think what Oda is trying to say is the Marines aren't individual fucking thinkers. They are not looking around and realizing what is happening. That's literally what is happening on God Valley. That's what's going on right now when you had Dragon's Marine captains say, stop thinking individually, you're deterring from the rest of the group. How fucking obvious can it be? You've got Kobe saying to Blackbeard, Marines don't bargain with pirates. We know that's a fucking lie. We know that's a lie. Kobe is either willfully oblivious after watching what happened with Axehand Morgan, mind you, or he truly doesn't know because he's not being told. Because people are not telling him of the rot in the Marine system, and that's an issue. What Oda is saying is the Marines are not individual thinkers. They are not looking around. They are not realizing the rot is coming from within, right? I am not saying that Marines are bad guys. I am saying that Marines are clearly oblivious. They clearly have a horrible, horrible problem that they do not want to address. It's naivete. It's either willful ignorance or it's a genuine ignorance because no one is telling anyone anything in the Marine system, right? That's the point. People think I'm trying to say Marines are evil, Marines are bad. I am not saying Marines are evil and Marines are bad. It's driving me nuts. I'm saying that the Marines are a problem due to their ignorance. It's so clear that the Marines are so fucking heavily ignorant, insanely ignorant, and it's driving me nuts. We've seen tons and tons and tons of Marines through the series have their views on pirates changed. because they basically looked around and went, oh, Smoke is a main one. Smoker truly thought Luffy was someone he had to chase down and capture. Smoker had a moment of realization of, if I don't side with this pirate, people will die. But the Marine system tells him, no, you cannot side with any pirates. Smoker literally had a moment of individual thought, right? We are watching that when these Marines have an individual thought, they wake up and they either try to change something which isn't working, or they leave. They leave the Marines. Like, how crazy is that? Every time the Marines have an individual thought, they are either radicalized or they fucking hate the Marines. Like, Smoker doesn't like the Marines. He hates the Marines. He doesn't like what the Marines teach. Right? How crazy is this? So I'm not saying the Marines are evil. I'm not saying the Marines are bad. I'm saying that the Marines will only protect people under a clause. And that is not protection. You know why? Because the truly oppressed peoples of the world are not going to be protected. They simply will not be protected. And again, with all of my heart, I cannot say that they are a good in the world. I just can't say that they are a good in the world. Not when they're running around killing mothers and infants. Not when they're running around acting out genocides for justice. Right? Saying that, no, this is a good thing. No, the mass genocide of people is a good thing. Because listen, if a pirate causes a genocide, I'm not saying they don't, Kaido did. If a pirate causes a genocide, at least there's not a semblance that this is a good thing. At least there's not an idea that this mass destruction is a good thing. When Marines enact out mass destruction, the idea is that's a good thing. They're doing a good thing. This is justice. Are we understanding why this is so malicious now? Are we understanding the malicious nature of the Marines and the orders that they follow? Because at least when pirates cause destruction, no one's saying that's a good thing. But when Marines cause destruction, there's the propaganda idea that this is a good thing. This is why I have such a problem with the Marines. Because they are ignorant. They are ignorant, and they cover up acts of history, of mass murders, of mass genocides, with the idea that it is justice. It's driving me up the wall that people are not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying the Marines are having fun acting out these genocides. I'm not saying they're monsters. I'm not saying they're evil. I'm saying they are ignorant. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people trying to twist my words and thinking I'm so anti-Marines that I want them gone. No, I'm just on Dragon's side, right? The Marines will not change so long as the world government is there. To me, that is a fact. That's why Dragon is saying the Marines are not my enemy, because the world government is, because the Marines will not change while the world government exists. Right? Why would Dragon fight the Marines and say Marines are the problem when Marines are literally just dogs of the world government? You don't take out the dog, you take out the owner. That's literally what Dragon is thinking. That's why if there are still good people in the Marines, I agree, there are still good people in the Marines, they're just in the wrong place. Because they are in a place of willful ignorance. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Goodness. Because you even had that Marine during Vegapunk's speech say, are we the bad guy? Like, he said people are going to think the Marines are the bad guys. Because they will. Right? The Marines just quite literally need a moment of waking up. And they keep not getting that. Right? It keeps not happening, which is why when Kobe said, sorry, Luffy, I have to stop your dream, I went, fuck, it's happened again. Kobe is falling into a very ignorant rabbit hole right now. Kobe's saying he has to stop Luffy's dream. Kobe genuinely believing that the Marines and the world government having the One Piece is a good thing is a problem. He is willfully ignorant, or he is just ignorant and naive. Like, Kobe deserves this criticism too. Anyway. I truly do think, like, what is going to happen to the Marines is the world government will be taken out and the Marines need to be reformed. What I think will happen is they need to throw justice off their backs. Because there's such a heavy topic and theme of justice in the Marines, and that's an issue. The fact that this is a system that believes they stand for justice when we have been told justice is what the powerful make it, is the problem, right? The Marines' idea of justice is what the world government believes justice is, and that's a problem. Because justice to the world government is slave trades, genocide, oppression. That's justice to the world government. That is what the Marines have on their backs. What I think will happen is the Marines are going to throw that symbol off their backs, and they'll finally be able to reform. I really do think that's the metaphor here. That's the symbolism here. The organization was created to protect the world government and the interests of the common people. That's what I keep saying. Again, if the Marines were there to protect the common person, the Revs wouldn't exist. They simply wouldn't exist. But because the Revs exist, it means the Marines are not protecting the common person. And again, I think the reason people are getting so heated and so up in arms about the Marines right now is because God Valley is proving that. God Valley is proving more than anything the Marines are not protecting the common person. They just aren't. Because Dragon is clearly about to be radicalized by his experience on God Valley and then quit the Marines and become a revolutionary. And if the Marines were protecting the common person, Dragon would not be having this. Dragon would not be the Revolutionary Army leader. Like, people want to talk to me about how I don't understand the nuance in the Marines. I think everyone else doesn't understand the nuance in the Marines because I keep being told Marines are a greater good than evil. And I keep saying, no, they're not. Right? That's the nuance that people aren't understanding. No, they are not a greater good than evil. They simply aren't. The fact that you think they are is propaganda. It just drives me nuts. Anyway. Right, individual people may be protecting some people, but the organization sure as fuck isn't, and that's my point. That's my point. That's why Garp is so desperate to hold on to Kobe. Because if the Marines were really as good as people are saying they are, why would Garp be so fucking desperate to promote good Marines? Why would Garp be so desperate to have good Marines? Even Garp can understand that the Marines clearly have a problem, but he's such a stubborn fucking fool that he thinks he can fix it from the inside while telling no one the issues. He's not telling Kobe the issues of the Marines, and that's very clear. How the fuck can you create a whole new system or a whole new good structure if you're not telling the people that you are bringing up to create this new structure the issues? You are destined to cycle the problems if you do not tell them the problems, right? That's the issue, you know? Like, we have seen the so-called good Marines in the Marine system, and they either also hate the Marines or they leave, or they've been drafted against their will. Like, it's just a constant showing to me of the ones that are the so-called good Marines are the ones that don't even fucking like the Marines, or they want to get out of there, or they didn't even want to be there to begin with. And I keep saying Sword is not exempt from this. I'm just sick of the Sword conversation. Sword are still Marines. They still serve themselves. When have we ever seen Sword protecting the common person? Ever. Kobe's the only one that was doing it, and that's because he was stuck on the island. Right? He was stuck on that island. Sword were not going to Blackbeard's island to save the slaves. They were going there to save Kobe. I have not seen Sword willfully protect the common person at this point. Only Kobe has. Right? Which is why it's like, so long as Sword fly the Marine flag, and so long as Sword have justice on their backs, I do not believe they are any different from the Marines. I just don't. I'm not sure what to think of Garp witnessing Imu, personally. For all I know, Garp does think that it was Rox and not Imu. I don't know. But I keep saying the lesson that Garp is telling Kobe of the old need to die, the young need to live is incorrect. Because Egghead as a whole was against Garp's message. Egghead was literally about the value of the older person in society, the value of Clover, the value of Vegapunk, the value of Kuma. That whole story was about the value of the elderly in society. Kuma's whole story was about protecting the elderly, right? Which is why when people use Garp's message to Kobe as a, oh, but see, I tell people Egghead was against Garp's message. Because if you build a society with the idea of actually some of these people are worthless, some of these people are useless, some of these people need to die, what are you telling people? That once you hit an age, suddenly you're not worth anything to society anymore? Suddenly we don't need to help those people in society anymore? How awful of a message is that? I think it's a horrible thing to look at older people in society and say, we just have to wait till they die. That's a horrible message to have. We shouldn't stop trying to help the elderly. We shouldn't stop trying to change the elderly. I have seen elder people, right? Old people who have changed their ways. They have changed their ideas. They have become more educated. The second we give up on the older person is the second they start becoming more conservative, right? If you give up on them, then they're going to turn into a rabbit hole. Like they're going to dig themselves into a hole because no one cares about them anyways. All of Egghead was against the idea to give up on the elderly. That's why when people use Garp's message as, oh, look, see what he's trying to do? That's wrong. That is incorrect. Literally all of Egghead was about, no, the elderly are good. If you give up on the elderly, you've given up on the future. Because who are raising the youth? Who are creating the future? The elderly are. If you give up on the elderly, those elderly are going to teach the youth horrible, horrible things. Like, we literally have Kuma saving the elderly, and then we have Garp saying, no, give up on them. Like, what? What's the message here? You know what I mean? This is, again, and we even see Kuma doing that with the slaves in God Valley right now. The slaves he are saving are older people. In Garp's idea, oh, fuck those older people. I'm not going to save them anyway. It is wrong to assign worth to someone based on a set of circumstances. It is wrong to assign the right to live and the right to be saved on someone based on a set of circumstances. You are dehumanizing people, right? Because then how does that message then continue on, right? Okay, let's give up on the elderly. They're useless to society anyway. So what's the message? That if you're useless to society, you don't deserve to be saved. So let's then move that message into, okay, what if someone is physically disabled, right? According to sets of circumstances in society, they are technically less useful to society because they are physically disabled. So what? We just shouldn't help them. We just shouldn't save them, right? That's why that mindset of give up on people who are older, less capable, who are useless to society is so dangerous. Because guess what that leads down to? We should only prioritize the people who have worth. And then what is that worth determined on? How useful they are to a future. And that's horrible. That is a horrible way to think. It's why when I heard Garp's message, I said he's wrong. He is so wrong in what he is saying, and he truly believes that he's embodying that message, right? Because he's old. He thinks I should just die. If Garp had the ability and the want, he could save more people. He's not in his prime anymore, but he is certainly in a place of power. He is certainly in a place that allows him to continue to help people. But he's kind of just given up because he's decided that's all on Kobe now. I'm old. And again, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. He should have died protecting Ace then. But Ace didn't have worth to the future in the way Kobe has worth to the future, because Kobe is the future of the Marines. Yes? Again, it's why it's so frustrating. Garp is putting the Marines above the Marines' future, above family, above common person. Right? I could talk in circles about this. I could talk in circles about this because I truly do think Garp's messages and Garp's character is all meant to be criticized. Because it's disgusting that Garp is putting the future of the Marines over the general future of anyone. That's what he is doing. It's why it's so annoying. Like, Garp believes not in a better future overall. He believes in the Marines are the ones that can give a better future, so he must believe in the future of the Marines. And again, it's dangerous. It is so unbelievably dangerous to think that way. Anyway. Kobe was also saved by Shanks! That's so fucking true! Kobe very probably would have been killed by Akainu if Shanks were not there. Fuck, I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, it's just the more I think about this, the more scenes I see of so-called good Marines, the more I'm seeing there's more to it than that. Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even think about that. For fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm gonna get to editing. But wow, huh? Wow. It sure makes you think, doesn't it? Anyway, TLDR, I do not believe the Marines are evil. I do not believe they are villains. I do not believe they are going heh 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 and doing this with their hands. I believe that they are just incredibly ignorant, and that's the message that Oda's trying to portray. That if you don't look around to understand the issues, you are going to continue to cycle the issues. Which is why when we have Garp on God Valley going, this is crazy, this can't be real, that's a problem. Garp is specifically refusing to believe he is seeing a problem. He's literally refusing to believe it. That is it. That is ignorance. That is willful ignorance. That's a problem. That is a huge problem. Exactly. The cognitive dissonance is very concerning. Hi, Crush. I'm just so sick of people trying to tell me, no, Marines do more good than bad, when all we've seen is the opposite. Literally, all we've seen is the opposite in the story. And people go, oh, but the Common Pirate, I am not watching the Common Pirate commit acts of genocide, actually. Because, like, someone like Kaido, right? Kaido's not the Common Pirate, by any means. The Common Pirate actually isn't doing what people are saying they're doing. The Common Pirate is actually getting caught by the Marines and executed. Like, what are they talking about? The fact Kobe wanted to get Boa Hancock back when we know Boa is a victim, right? Again, just, I don't understand why people are not seeing it. I really don't get it. No, they also get executed. It was said in Whiskey Peak by Igaram that the Marines prefer to publicly execute... Sorry. The world government and the Marines prefer to publicly execute pirates. For obvious reasons, as a message. They both rot in Impel Down and they get publicly executed. I don't know about you guys, but a system that condones public execution is not one that is a good one. Like, it's not a good thing. There are so many Marines who are not committing evil acts, just like there are so many pirates who are not committing evil acts. This is what I'm saying. There are so many people that believe, they try to tell me, no, the majority of pirates are committing evil acts. Where? Eustace Kid was an outlier. We were literally told the reason why Eustace Kid's bounty was so high was because he was actually committing pretty violent acts. But it was presented in the story as, that's not normal. That's actually not very normal. What's happening is people are trying to push this idea that no, pirates are also committing evil. Like, they're saying the majority of pirates are committing evil acts, and that's not true. The majority of pirates are not committing evil acts. People just think they are because they're saying that they are because of the propaganda in One Piece's world saying that they are. Majority of pirates are not actually committing evil acts. Again, that's propaganda. Yes, and Doffy and Crocodile, exactly. We're affiliated with the government and we're affiliated with the Marines. The pirates, the majority of pirates that we do see committing evil acts usually are affiliated with the world government or the Marines. Again, it just speaks volumes. All of Luffy's villains in the East Blue were pretty damn bad pirates. There was an equalness between the Marines and the pirates that we were seeing, right? Because, oh, okay, the Baratier had Don Craig. Zeph was a fucking pirate. Zeph was a pirate! Like, people look at Don Craig and say, look at this evil pirate. There's a reason that Zeph was also a pirate. And there's a reason that the Marines were doing fucking nothing in the Baratier. Full Body was literally a Marine abusing his power. They didn't save anybody. Anybody. Mihawk was a pirate, Zeph was a pirate, Don Craig was a pirate. The Baratier in of itself was supposed to be a showing of the diversity of pirates. But there was not one good Marine during the Baratier. Not one. Like, are we just like, oh, it's driving me nuts. Hasn't Zeph done bad things in the past? And why are you saying that? Just because you think he has, or because you think he must have because he was a pirate? Do you see what I'm saying? People hear pirate and they immediately equate that with they must be doing bad things. And that is incorrect. That is simply not true. There is absolutely nothing that shows that Zeph has done like bad things. Bad things, probably just fighting other pirates. Bellamaz is an interesting case because she quit. She's another instance of every time we get a good Marine, they've left the Marines. Like, it just keeps happening. It's just crazy that nearly every, like, the ratio of good Marines we saw, of bad Marines we saw in East Blue was like 5-1. We are introduced to Alvida first, and then we're introduced to Helmeppo, Axehand Morgan, right? There were no Marines within Usopp's Island, which again, that speaks for itself. There was no one there to save Usopp's Island except the people themselves and other pirates, right? And then you had the Baratier, which once again had shitty Marines. Really shitty Marines. And then after that, you had that one Marine that tried to save the people in Arlong Park and totally failed. But then you had Nezumi. And do remember, Nami was about to close the deal and save the island. And Nezumi took that away from her. A Marine took that away from her. And they all followed his orders to take that away from her. The ratio is literally 4 bad Marines to like 1 good one that we see for a second. Like, it's just driving me nuts. We have seen that pirates are a lot more diverse than Marines. A lot more diverse. People just hear pirate and think they must have done a bad thing. Because people have this belief that pirates do bad things. Because of the world government propaganda. Just following orders, and that's exactly what Kizaru says, right? Kizaru just follows orders. And then we saw in Egghead what that did to him. Like, literally, as Kizaru starts having an individual thought, suddenly it's, wait a minute, like, again, I keep saying one of the most dangerous mindsets to have is I'm just a cog in the machine. One of the most dangerous mindsets to have is I am just following orders. Because you are now committing atrocious acts with a cognitive dissonance. Thinking, this isn't me, I'm just following orders. That's horrible. That is a horrible way to think. I do think the Marines will have a full rebranding at the end of the story. I think that Justice Jacket is going to be thrown away. I think they will not really be the Marines anymore. They'll be something else. Don't the Marines get killed if they disobey orders? And that's exactly why people leave the Marines and become outlaws! That's exactly why the Marines are only creating more criminals. You are literally telling these people, if you don't do as I say, we will kill you. And if we don't kill you, we'll chase you down. You are creating criminals by doing that. You are literally telling these people, if you have independent thought and don't do as I say, you will face punishment. What the fuck kind of message is that? You create criminals in that system. Actually, someone said the funniest fucking thing ever. Hang on. Because there's this idea that people think Garp doesn't follow orders. Garp does what he wants, you know? Garp is not a bootlicker, blah, blah, blah. And I saw someone fighting with someone about this in my replies. And this made me actually burst out laughing. Hang on, where is it? Here. So someone is saying, then become a rev. You don't have the lesser evil. They are still evil. And they are the source of major problems in the world of One Piece. Starvation, mass genocide, war. They're talking about Celestial Dragons, world government, and Marines. And they're right. They are the source of a lot of these problems. The average, and they're talking about Celestial Dragons mainly, the average Celestial Dragon is way worse than the average pirate. And Garp still gets ordered around by them. Just because he's not directly under the Celestial Dragons doesn't mean he doesn't serve them, right? That's what we keep saying. And someone said, Garp literally isn't ordered around. He does things in his own free will. And get ready for the kicker. So by this logic, he was at Marineford to execute his own son because he really wanted to. I fucking lost it! Oh my god! That is such a fucking incredible comeback! That's anytime anyone says that about Garp anymore, about no, he doesn't get ordered around, I'm saying that. So he was at Ace's execution because he really wanted to be. Like, that That is an incredible fucking comeback. And it's incredible because it's true. Because the Marine Fit is proof that Garp is still following orders, isn't it? It's cold, hard proof that he is still following orders. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been at Marineford. He wouldn't have overseen Ace's execution, and he would have gotten Ace out of those chains. Right? That is exactly the fact. And I am so happy that person said that, because I will remember that forever now. Because I hate when people say Garp doesn't follow orders, because he does. And I can't wait to use that as a comeback whenever I hear that shit now. Because there's nothing you can possibly say back to that. Right? Garp doesn't follow orders. So he just really wanted to be at Ace's execution. And oversee Ace's execution. He really wanted to do that. Oh my god! Did they have a response to that? I think the response was just bullshit. This person was fucking cooking them. Hang on. The response was... Where is it? The response was, well, no, he was present at Marineford because the whole world was watching. Can't have the hero of the Marines be absent at such a crucial event. And the same person said back, so he follows orders sometimes. Yeah, why? Why? Because he really wanted to be. He really wanted to be there. Oh my god. No, I've never thought of that as the thing. But again, this is just, it's proof to me that Garp is supposed to be criticized. Like, because it's true. Oh my god. Oh, that really fucking cracks me up. I'll never forget that. So he really wanted to be there. Fuck. That is so funny. We're talking about Garp now because it's a hot topic. Now more than ever we should be talking about Garp because of what's happening at God Valley. I've been waiting for this day. But I keep saying I do still believe Dragon and Garp will have a conversation. And that will be the nail in the coffin for what I think of Garp. Because there is still a chance for him. There is still a way for me to see him in a different light, okay? I'm not unreasonable. But whatever happens between Dragon and Garp is going to be what truly makes me make up my mind. Because I do think there's going to be a hard-hitting conversation between those two. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the final decider. Sengoku, hold me back! I really want to see Ace die! Oh, God. Can I also add, by the way, and I have to add this because this is pissing me off. I'm now watching people shift the blame to Sengoku. And they're saying, well, actually, Sengoku's the problem. Now, here's the thing, okay? Garp is friends with that man. Good friends. And he is complicit in what is happening by being friends with this man. You cannot shift the blame on Garp's bestie and exempt Garp of everything. And I hate that because that is such a man thing to do. The amount of men that are friends with horrible, horrible, horrible people and they shrug it off because, well, what are you gonna do? But they still remain friends with them, right? You cannot shift the blame on Sengoku to exempt Garp of the problems when that is Garp's fucking best friend. Like, that's insane. What could Garp do, say, in that convo with Dragon that would make you think positively about him? Just an understanding and a taking responsibility. An understanding that Garp knows the system and the Marines that he is serving is horribly, horribly wrong. Is horribly, horribly broken. Right? I just want to see recognition from Garp. I want to see him know and speak that the Marines are broken. Not just oh, the future of the Marines, I have to save the Marines, but knowing that the Marines are rotting, right? Because I do think Garp has that feeling, hence why he wants a future of the Marines. He is saying Kobe is the future of the Marines. But he is still oblivious. He's still willfully ignorant. I need to see an understanding that this is not a willful ignorance that he has. But I'm not sure how that could be played out, personally. Like, if Dragon says the Marines are broken, the Marines are rotten, and Garp says no, no, no. But if Dragon says the Marines are broken, the Marines are rotten, and Garp has more of a held back reaction to that, as in he definitely somewhat agrees, then I'll reconsider him, but I still don't think what he's doing is correct, since he is still in the system that serves genocide and slave owners. And he's saying, I can fix the system by serving the system, and it's like, I don't know about that one. Garp needs an I know that moment. 100% he needs that. Because again, I see it in him. I see that he wants to create a future of the Marines. But again, I don't like that Garp prioritizes the future of the Marines over anything else. Because I think that's dangerous, right? Like, he prioritizes that over protection of family and person. He thinks if I can fix the Marines, then I can help people. But why aren't you doing both? Like, why is there not both of those things happening? No, I know Garp has a moment of him complaining about his son becoming a rev. That's why I don't know. I love using that scene to show people, no, Garp was pissed that his son became a rev even after what he saw on God Valley. Right? By the way, Rox is another example of the world government creating pirates, creating criminals. Because again, I ask you this, when Rox was young, do you think the Marines were helping him? Right? Rox was a Davy. He was of the Davy clan. The Davy clan was listed as one of the most evil fucking things to ever exist. Why? Because the world government doesn't want them to exist. Do you think the Marines were helping a child like Rox? No. So what could Rox have possibly done but become a pirate? The world government and Marine system continuously creates criminals and outlaws simply because they are creating a system of oppression. And it's just, that's the baseline argument to everything. I do think Oda's planned Garp's character. I think he's very well planned it. The fact that I am watching, like, the fact that I've been reading his character since fucking Marineford and people have been shitting on me for it, and now we're getting to a point of showing just how morally grey Garp is to an insane extent, means he's been plotting this out. I picked up the pieces from the beginning, and now people are in disbelief of what's happening, and it's like, come on, man! This would be 1102. Rubs my big head to think about it very hard. Scratches my chin. By the way, someone tried to prove that the average Marine was good to me by showing like pictures of like the average Marine, right? Or manga panels of the average Marine. One of them was all the Marines that were on their way to Egghead. And I didn't respond, obviously. But I was like, those Marines are on their way to genocide an island and kill a 12-year-old little girl. Like, how can we possibly be this illiterate? You are showing me the Marines leading the Buster Call to Egghead and saying, this is the average good Marine. The Marines that are literally taking out an entire island that was full of innocents. That were also ordered to take out the boat full of innocents. Are we serious? Like, I can't do this. I feel crazy. We see multiple pirate captains in Saboti being taken as slaves. One of them was Jean Bart, which Law took under him. We were literally watching. No one was saving these guys. Law saves Jean Bart. Where else was he going to go? Granted, he was already a pirate. But what else was he going to do? He was now an ex-slave of the Celestial Dragons. Of course he was going to become a pirate again. The Marines simply do not have a system to reform and help oppressed peoples. They just don't. The Marines do not have the ability to reform and help oppressed peoples. I do think it's so interesting that the people under Garp, Dragon and Kuzan, are the ones that have opened their eyes to the Marines and are going, what the fuck is happening? And Kobe is now the only one that's stuck. You know why? Because Kobe hasn't opened his eyes. He has not opened his eyes to what's happening. But, like, is that not meant to be... That's purposeful, no? Garp's own son has opened his eyes and has gone, this is fucked up, I can't be here anymore. Kuzan, who Garp trained on his own, like one-to-one, has opened his eyes and gone, this is absolutely horrible and fucked up. Like, and has become a pirate, mind you. Garp keeps failing in creating good Marines because Garp isn't telling the truth of what is happening in the Marines. Kobe doesn't know the truth. He saw Axehand Morgan, but he clearly is incredibly oblivious to everything else. Kobe's been known to save people. I keep saying, I'm not saying the Marines don't save people. I'm saying they only save and protect people under a clause. Right? I've never seen Kobe protect or save a celestial dragon slave. Ever. I've only seen him protect and save slaves that is outside world government jurisdiction. I mean, sorry. That is not punishable by saving them due to not being slaves of the world government, right? I'm not saying the Marines don't save people. I'm saying they will only save people if they are allowed to, basically. And I'm telling you that's not saving people because, again, the oppressed of this world are the ones that don't have human rights. And the Marines are not helping people who don't have human rights. They're just not. Pirates usually are. The Revs usually are. No, that is not what Sword is for. I'm asking you again. Have we ever seen Sword save fucking anybody? Anybody? Anyone that wasn't Kobe on Fullerled himself? Have we ever seen Sword move to save people? Did Sword try and save the people of Wano at all? No. Why? Because we don't want the heat from Kaido. This idea that Sword is there to save the common person is a fucking lie. We've never seen that. We've never seen them do that. Only Kobe. Only Kobe, and Kobe was saving them because he was there. Kobe wasn't actively on Fullerled. He got captured. Sword wasn't going to Fullerled to save people. They were going to Fullerled to save Kobe. We've never seen Sword save the common person actively, willingly, outside world government jurisdiction. Ever. We've never seen them do that. Rocky Port. Yeah, who teamed up with Kobe there? Law. In the exact same way Luffy teamed up with Smoker on Alabasta to save the people of Alabasta. Notice how every time the Marines do a thing of good, something of good, pirates are with them, usually helping them. Without fail! Like, it's never just the Marines. Kobe got his hero title through an incident where pirates helped him. I just don't know how obvious Oda can make it. Well. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. I'm getting heated. Oh my god. What? I gotta be birthed. Hang on. Ugh. Rocky Port to me sounds exactly like what happened in Alabasta. Exactly like what happened in Alabasta. And it's content. Notice how there's a pattern of Marines getting hero titles through incidents that are misconstrued and twisted historically through propaganda. Garp got his hero title from God Valley. What the fuck is happening at God Valley right now? Smoker got his promotion through Alabasta. What the fuck happened at Alabasta? Kobe got his hero title on Rocky Port. Who the fuck did he team up with in Rocky Port? Every time a Marine gets a hero title or a promotion of good promotion, that like, oh, look at them, they're a hero. It is always in connection to pirates or working alongside pirates. And they don't say that part. They never say that part. If you hate Garp, you should hate Smoker as well. The reason I hate Smoker less, I love Smoker, right? But the reason Smoker is someone, I still think Smoker's on thin ice, don't get me wrong. Smoker's not willfully oblivious. He's not willfully ignorant. I don't like that Smoker's still a Marine, don't get me wrong. But I have literally watched Smoker stand there, question his morals, and then decide, no, I'm siding with the pirates. Then yell at his superiors and tell them, fuck you, I'm not taking this promotion, this was Luffy. And now he is actively, constantly going against the Marines. He fucking hates the Marines. I still haven't seen Garp question anything. Like, Garp's still on thin ice, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely doing more and thinking more than Garp is. Smoker's the rebel people believe Garp to be. That's exactly fucking it. Smoker's the Marine people think Garp is. It's true. Smoker hasn't been fired yet because they believe he's the one that saved Alabasta. You can't fire the guy that saved Alabasta. Sorry, I'm reading the different translations, and again, the TCB translations are just not... they're not hitting as hard by any means. Hang on, I'll show it, but let me just convert it first. So this is the leaks, like leak scans. His actions have really moved me. But in the official, something in his actions shakes the very core of my being. Now, between these two, which one hits you harder? shakes the very core of my being. Nika is only a legend. I know Nika is meant to be a legend, but... I know Nika is meant to be a legend. Nika is only a legend. These are just different implications, like... I instilled into Bonnie the stories of a warrior who rides the rhythm of liberation and brings smiles to all. It'd be great if there really was a warrior out there putting smiles on faces. It'd be great. What? It'd be great! There's just different implications in these translations. Saying, I know Nika is meant to be a legend, but it'd be great if there really was a warrior out there. Nika is only a legend, but I instilled into Bonnie the stories of a warrior who rides the rhythm. Like, one of these is like a more optimistic, like, hope of like, oh, it'd be great. The other one is pure faith. He knows Nika is only a legend, but he instilled into Bonnie the stories of a warrior. And this one's saying, oh, he's meant to be, but it'd be great. Like, do you know what I mean? This feels like he's got such a heavier faith in this translation than he does in this one. This one feels more like a, maybe, but this one is a, you know, it'll happen. I don't know. Look, guys, I keep telling you, majority of people will tell you that the officials are the more accurate translation. They are. Like, they don't get it right all the time, but they get it right more. It's just frustrating because I can see why when I talk to people about One Piece, if they've only read the leaks, we're going to have different ideas and different interpretations of how we've read it. Because I'm reading like a different tone than they are, you know? He is cinema. The way we are the Buccaneer, the way we are the Buccaneer. What? We are the Buccaneers? Us? Okay. The way the Buccaneers speak about Nika, we see the Davy Clan members talk about faith. Find that very interesting. In the very recent chapter, Garling also calls running to the Davy Clan members on God Valley an act of fate. Yeah, fate, not faith. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of Garling, but the Davy Clan and the Buccaneers having these ways of faith makes sense because again, they are the oppressed. And the oppressed need that faith for survival, you know? Oh, whoops, hang on. Official. On a doozy. Wait, hang on. You're not saying the Davy Clan members talk about faith. You're saying the Davy Clan members talk about fate? Is that what you're saying, Thresh? Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I still find it funny what happened to Roger has now happened to Rox. Which is, we are introduced to him, we think he's... Like, we're introduced to him by word of mouth and by legend. We think he's evil, evil, yucky, yucky, and then we find out he was kind of more or less just a guy. Rox is powerful, but he was no monster. Thrash! Get it together, man! Jesus Christ! You're pissing me off now! Put the drinks down, Thrash. My saving was stuck at 69%, haha. I want to do a video on Maria. However, I'd want to do a video on Thriller Bark, not just Maria, but that's an ARC video that I must save because I will do them in order. Also Garp, of course. Dragon as well, but I'm still wanting to see more from Dragon. Yeah! Oh, thank you for the sub. Shanks! Fuck, I want to do one on Shanks. But, and this is crazy because I didn't give a fuck about Shanks until pretty recently. But Shanks I also need to see more from. For now, I can only speculate. And I really want to know more about Shanks now. No, Moria. I'm just Australian. Guys, I just have a speech impediment. I'm just Australian, so Moria comes out as Maria. Because we can't say, like, we can't pronounce R. We just can't. Moria. Mora. Blue. Blue. Pank. Mario. Does it sound funny when I say Mario? I'm telling you, the reason Rox stabbed child Loki is because Loki was desperate to follow Rox to the point that he was nearly killing himself. And because Loki was Harold's son, Rox took drastic measures to stop Loki from following him. And I believe this more than ever now, because we literally saw Loki nearly drown getting on his own little boat trying to follow Rox out to the sea. I'm telling you that that's going to be the reason, and when that is revealed, I get to take a victory lap. My victory lap will be incredible, because there is absolutely nothing that shows any implication that Rox would beat up, like, would stab Loki just because. Like, there's nothing that shows he'd do that. First time he hit Loki, it's because he was trying to get his dad out. He went, oh, you must be the giant's son. But there are plenty of adults in the One Piece world who are not evil and have hit children. So I don't hold that against Rox. Jinbe. Oh, Jinbe! My little Jinbe poo. I gotta do another episode with One Piece with Alarm. I love those guys. Hello. I mean, remember when fucking Hitterluck was like shooting Chopper, telling him to get the fuck out of his house? I don't know why people are seeing mentor figure beating the fuck up out of kid and going, he must automatically be evil. How many times in One Piece have we seen tough love? Right? Even Kudaha did that with Chopper. Kudaha was throwing axes at Chopper, saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And she was doing that because she couldn't stand to say goodbye. Right? How many times have we seen mentor figures beating up the kids that they are mentoring because of this crazy tough love concept that Oda has going? Like, it's not crazy to say the reason Rox beat Loki up is because he didn't want Loki fucking dying trying to follow him out to sea. Garp not only threw Luffy in a jungle, he gave Luffy trauma from that. I will always remind people of that. It wasn't just throwing Luffy in a jungle. Luffy's #1 fear in the world stems from what Garp did to him, which was being alone. That was Garp, guys! Like, that was Garp! The reason Luffy has that trauma and has that fear is because of what Garp fucking did to him. And people look at me like I'm crazy when I say, no, Garp is a horrible, horrible fucking grandpa. He's horrible. Remember, Luffy literally was thrown in the forest in Amazon Lily and was like, wow, this is like when Grandpa threw me into the jungle. Fuck, I don't want to think about that. And then he drugged himself. Oh! Oh my god! That's crazy! Luffy went, oh, that's a traumatic memory. I'm gonna take some drugs. That is so fucked up. It's insane. Oh my god. He went straight to the shrooms. just realized, what am I doing? Hey, so question, if Garp can really take on Big Mom the way people are now saying he can, why did Garp save no one from Big Mom? In the current day. You know? So he has the ability to take out a pirate captain like Big Mom. And he just won't. Okay. Doesn't follow orders, by the way. Ow. So my nose is itchy. I am not picking it! I'm itching it. I love Labubu Katakuri. And now I'm kind of upset that I don't like Labubus. Labubus are now like dying as a trend. But I'm now upset there's not Labubu Katakuri. Because you know what? If anyone could make a good Labubu, it's Katakuri. Lafufu. Yeah, I saw that. I did indeed see that. Dragon Katakuri, I'm glad he got the mochi fruit because he's so cute. He's so cute with the mochi fruit. I love the scene of Kaido hitting Big Mom and getting the fruit. They're so good. I really like Kaido and Bin Linlin. I really like them. I think they're just adorable because it's so big sister, little brother energy. Like, it is so unbelievably cute. It actually makes me sick. I really, really like those two. And I didn't think I would like those two so much. But I can feel that, like, Kaido sticks to Linlin more than he sticks to anyone, you know? I think he looks up to her. I think he thinks she's neat. Like, I think they're really cute. And they tease each other all the time. Because what happened on that one island? Kaido fell through the ground or something and Big Mom, like, laughed at him. Linlin laughed at him. Kaido was like, what? It was really funny. He was like stuck or something. And Linlin thought he was hilarious. They're so funny. Probably because that's kind of a dynamic I have with a lot of guys. A lot of guys in my life. Where I just fucking bully them. But Kaido is so cute. He's really cute. Like, he's like extra cute around Big Mom. I think he's adorable. They're such besties. I really didn't think I'd like Kaido and Linlin to this extent, but I really, really like them. Like, I now want to go back and reread the scenes of Big Mom and Kaido in Wano, in Onigashima, Because now I've seen their dynamic more, and now I see just how cute they are and how like rough, tough love they are with each other. And I want to see it again, right? It's so cute. The way he cried when she was defeated, like, that's his big sister. Like, oh, they are really, really cute. It makes me feel ill. God, I was just shocked at how sweet they are, because I keep reminding people Kaido's like young. Kaido's the youngest of the Rox pirates, I do believe. And you can really feel it because he's little, he's immature. I just think he's kind of cute. I'm sorry, I think Kaido's a cutie patootie. Oh fuck, wait. Oh, Big Mom, big pink haired character looks like me. Has the closest dynamic with Kaido. Am I projecting? No. It's everyone else who was wrong. People said you're like Big Mom. Like, no, I am like Big Mom because Big Mom hates kids. I don't think Big Mom likes children. I don't think she likes them. I think she just has them. I thought Kaido was like 19 or something during the God Valley incident. I just think Kaido really, really looks up to Big Mom. I think he just really likes her, and I think that's so cute. Because remember, when Kaido and Big Mom and Lin Lin were on God Valley, they were like making it a competition with each other to get to the treasure. So Lin Lin got to the fruit, and then Kaido whacked her and got it instead, like a little fucking brat, right? He's a little brat because that was a competition. And by God, did he win it? And that's why he had that big fucking smirk on his face. Papa. Brat Valley. I just like that when he got the fruit, he was like, I'm a dragon! He's so cute. I don't know why people don't like Kaido the way I like Kaido. Like, why am I the only one out here that likes Kaido like this? I feel insane. I'm a dragon! He was like, look at me! He was so cute. Like, am I sick and ill or something? And he hit them with the wa-da-da-da-da. Kaido's also got one of the best laughs in One Piece. Wa-da-da-da-da-da. That's like fucking banger. Kaido was just the baby. He was the Beppy. He was the Beppy of the Rox Pirates. What happened to Kaido to make him so sinister? I have a sneaking suspicion that Rox dying really fucking crushed him. I think it crushed all of them. I think the Rox Pirates is... because there's also a theme in One Piece of when captains pass or when you lose a captain, people go drastic ways, because one of them was Fishman Island. Don't get me wrong, Arlong wasn't like the best person before Fisher Tiger, but he wasn't a monster. Then something happened to Fisher Tiger and he just lost it, right? Arlong spiraled into a very, very hateful mindset. I think there's something similar about to happen to Lin Lin and to Kaido. I think Rox did mean a lot to them, and I think that it's going to crush them that when Rox died. Because a lot of people think they don't care about each other. I disagree. I do think the Rox Pirates are actually like a family. I think they're incredibly crazy, loose family that's quite destructive, but I still think they are a family that care about each other nonetheless. I just like scenes where we see how immature Kaido is, and that speaks to me because, like if I made the Kaido video now, I would definitely include the new scenes, because we've seen that Kaido kind of hasn't grown up. He hasn't grown up. He's still stuck in this mindset. I truly do believe Kaido is kind of an eternally a child, because I think he reached an idea of he could have had this maturing stage, right? Had the Rox Pirates stayed together and had Rox survived, I think Kaido could have had a better outcome. But that didn't happen, because something that really spoke to me during this Rox flashback is when Kaido said to Rox, who gives a fuck about the pirates? Why don't we just overpower them and storm them or something? And then Rox hit Kaido and said, no, the fuck, we are not doing that. That is not how you solve things, right? So Kaido back then had this, he was a kid. He was immature. He had that immature idea because where he came from, that's how things were solved. So he had these childish ideas that were rooted in and also type of trauma of how he grew up, right? And I do think he was reaching a threshold of he could have grown up and he could have changed, but because what happened to Rox, he never got to hit that point. So he stayed in this idea of war and physical power being the decider of all things, right? And it's just a shame, because now I'm looking at Kaido and I am seeing a boy who never got to grow up, basically, because he was constantly stuck in this immature state of a traumatized immature state, right? Of what had happened to him. I'm not, again, when I say these things, these are not excuses. I'm not saying, oh, forgive Kaido for what he did to Wano. He was just a baby boy. No, that's still fucked up. He was still really fucked up. He was still a monster. But I am saying that these are the creations of a monster, right? Rox said it's the first time he's seen Kaido that happy. I think he's so cute. Fuck, I think Kaido's cute. I think he's a baby. In the God Valley flashbacks, he's a baby. I think he's cute. I think he's really cute. Oops. There's also something to be said as well that, and I always thought this, but sometimes I'm like, am I looking too deep? I think there's something to be said about the fact that Kaido looked older than he always was. Right? So Kaido was always treated older than he was. You know? And psychologically, that can ruin a person. When Kaido was 14, he looked like 30, basically. But because Kaido was 14, and because people instead treated him like he was 30, he was not given the grace, the love, the compassion, the understanding, the time that a child would be given. And those things that a child is given is what raises them into a healthy adult, right? And I think that is a part of what has ruined Kaido. That because he looks significantly older than he did for his age, he was always treated like an adult. And I think that did horrible things to his psyche. Horrible things to his psyche. So he never got to mature properly. And he was treated as a weapon. The same thing is kind of happening to Momonosuke, but Momonosuke is given this grace period. There is still an understanding that Momonosuke is still a child. While he does look like he's older, he still is basically a kid, right? And they are still giving him that time. They're not saying, all right, too bad, you're an adult now. That's not what they're doing. But that is something to be said, that Momonosuke and Kaido do kind of parallel each other in that way. They both have to grow up too fast, but we are watching, like, how one is treated with more patience in that respect, or with more kindness in that respect. Oh yeah, Kuma being huge for his age as well. He was also not treated like a child when he should have been. God, that's horrible. I love One Piece because the more the more I talk about it with you guys, the more I notice. I didn't notice this shit, but I do believe that is now a part of what it's trying to say. No, it's very true. Because children get treated differently for a reason. Because they are still navigating the world. They still need to learn things about the world. If you reprimand a child the way you'd reprimand an adult, you are fucking doing horrible things to that child's mental state. Because it's a learning curve, right? Having to be old enough to know better, you must get to the point of learning what is knowing better, right? It's why for a lot of characters that Oda has, and I adore this, it's similar to Sanji. It's similar to Law. Sanji and Law as characters are characters who faced horrible times in their life, horrible abuse in their life. Robin's the same, actually. Robin, Sanji, and Law are three characters who faced horrible, abusive, violent times in their lives during a growing age of childhood. They faced things that a child should not face, that a child cannot possibly really comprehend without something in there breaking, right? The way Sanji was treated, he was not treated as a child. He was treated as... well, he was abused, basically, right? But he never got the grace or the time or the patience that a child is given. Law was the same, right? And Law is in a different way, because he's kind of in a space of, he's still being treated like a child, but it's for malicious and manipulative ways, which is what Doffy was doing. But Law had to grow up quickly because of what he'd seen. Robin was the same. Robin had to grow up quickly to survive. Sanji, Law, and Robin are three characters that had to grow up quickly to survive. Now we are seeing how that's following them into their adulthood. And Robin is different because she is finally She's in a less immature state, but she is finally re-accepting this childhood side to her, right? She's no longer having to close things off. Laura and Sanji, on the other hand, they clearly are still immature. They clearly they clearly do still act like children, but they don't want to, right? But this is because they're kind of stuck in this they haven't grown up properly area. So they are acting the way they think an adult should act because they never got given the ability to grow up properly into a proper adult that would just act properly. You know what I mean? Both Sanji and Laura kind of like stunted, in my opinion. So they act in ways they believe adults should act, and that comes off as immature, right? Add Bonnie to that too, 100%. Bonnie's the same. Bonnie would act the way Bonnie would act the way she thinks an adult should act because she's a child, right? And I even said that in my Bonnie video, that Sanji and Bonnie have that connection. They were both children trying to grow up quickly. And that stunts a child trying to grow up quickly to survive. Well, I disagree. Sanji does have a healthy adult in his childhood. That is Zeph. Zeph has done a lot for him. I know we wouldn't consider Zeph a healthy adult, but he's supposed to be in story terms. It's just that Sanji's years before Zeph fucked him up. They fucked him up big time. So the trauma that Sanji received from Judge and the Vinsmoke Kingdom followed him to Zeph, right? So Zeph has done his very fucking best to raise this boy, but there is still that trauma in Sanji that he can't let go of. Judge hung over Sanji basically like a shadow. He could never let go of that until recently, until Whole Cake Island. I also do think Zoro's a little bit the same because of the grief and the loss that he went through as a child. I think what Zoro faced as a child, although not to the extent that it was to Robin, Law, and Sanji, is something that made him think, I have to grow up fast. And now he's in this state of adulthood of suppressing a lot, right? Of not showing a lot. I think it's quite clear that Zoro doesn't know how to healthily regulate his emotions. I think that's quite clear in my opinion. I think Sanji's inner child is healing now. I think thanks to Whole Cake Island, Sanji's inner child is finally healing. Same with Law. I think Law's inner child is finally healing after Dressrosa. Robin's inner child began to heal after Water 7, and that makes sense. Those were the biggest moments for those three. Robin... Also, hi Mama Mad Dog. Robin went through that pain in Water 7, and she had a moment of acceptance, and now she can accept her more childish sides. Law had that moment in Dressrosa of Doffy finally being taken out, and now Law can heal, right? Sanji had that moment in Whole Cake Island where he could finally face Judge, and now Sanji can heal. Those are the three biggest moments of those characters. Skypiea was good for Robin and Sanji too, yeah. And Zoro. Oh! Fighting with a bird as well. Zoro's healing from injuries for half of the whole series because this man does not know how to dodge an attack. Why the fuck doesn't he dodge anything? God, he pisses me off. He take like you don't have to take every attack, Zoro. You can dodge. I promise you can dodge. Please dodge for my peace of mind. Kuma, Vegapunk manga. Nah, when he got the scythe in his shoulder and he was like and he tore it out, I was like, you could have just dodged it and quite probably gotten that out of his hand in another way. You could have, like, to be fair, he did say to Hiyori, nah, I got this injury because I suck. Like, he did say that to her. I'll never fucking forget when Zoro took the Big Mom Kaido attack on the rooftop and Law was just fucking standing there and I was like... I was yelling. I was watching it with Anna and we were yelling, Law, can you please do something? Like, Zoro had no reason to take that attack. Law could have snapped them. Room happens in an instant, guys. In an instant. This is why I have the theory that Law has performance anxiety. I think Law has a crazy performance anxiety. Because why the fuck could he not just... Like... We were yelling, Law, can you please do something? Please, oh my god. Lord, do something! Yeah, and then Law gets... I love Law. And then Law gets mad when someone tells him to use his ability. Oh my god, I love Law. He cracks me the fuck up. Law's one of the, like, underground funniest characters in One Piece, and no one believes me. One of the cutest moments is when he's trying to tell everyone about the plan for Dressrosa. And they're all like, I'm hungry, I want sandwiches. And then Law says, I don't like bread! That was so cute. Law's a fellow celiac baddie. I love that Law uses his power like twice and he goes and it's like, I know it uses stamina, but I also know Law's stamina must be fucking horrible. I just don't think Law has that much stamina. I think this man is on a diet of energy drinks and like fast food. I really do not think Law has good stamina. Oh my god, it's blueberry time. Hang on, I'll be back.
do, boys?
I'm back. Oh yeah. I love blueberry time. It's my favorite time of day. There sure is a lot happening in the chat right now. Thrash, are you still there? Put it on emote mode, Thrash. Emote only. They've been acting out. Whoops, did I not save this? I've played these games before! Alright, get him out of baby jail. I love my berries. I love being a little foraging creature. Eating my berries. I can't even say be normal because I've created this space. If my chat is talking about how Zoro's breast milk is rich in fat and protein, it's my fault. I've created this space. So what am I meant to do? Oh. Hello? Oh my god! It's One Piece with a lime. I was just talking about you guys. Did someone say something to you? Oh, thanks, Justin. I still appreciate it. Oh, you did? I thought so. Yeah, my my messenger pigeon obviously went to you. Now, Justin, I would definitely like to be back on the podcast. Back on the show. But I can't guarantee any time frames because it's a very, very busy year for me. However, do keep in mind that I do want to come back. I was under the weather. I'm now doing quite well. Sutton holding up Bonnie and saying aim for the head? Like, that's fucking crazy. Mm. Mm. Look, the Marines are good guys. They're good guys. 12-year-old little girl. The average Marine, ladies and gentlemen. Is it page 1103? Oh, my music? Mm-hmm. I don't think this is good music. Guys, the Celestial Dragons are just doing the Roman salute. It's just the Roman salute, guys. Calm down. This music is not at all fitting with the scene that's happening right now. Also, remember, every time I type, I use only 2 fingers. Because I found out apparently that's a weird thing to do. Editing's been good. Hang on, I have to type again to... The only time... Hang on. The only time I use any other finger is when I use my pinky finger to either hit shift or caps lock. Yeah, I index my spacebar. Thank you, Justin. Any fan of Zora and Laura is welcome on the show. Long live Zora's big fat boobies. I like how you had to censor boobies. What a sick world we live in. What a sick, twisted world we live in that you can't even say boobies. It's gone too far. I ate all my blueberries. I get so excited to eat them, and I eat them so quickly, and I'm sad that I ate them so quickly. But they're just so delicious. Nothing, Justin. They've brought no harm. They've only brought joy to the world. What? Why did I not get the thing? I see your donation. I don't know why it didn't pop up on the screen, but thank you very much. I don't know why that's not popping up. I really don't, but that's a very generous donation. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that it's not popping up. Also, your name kind of sounds like mine. MelonTeee. The donation was too powerful. For everyone that can't see it, someone called MelonTeee donated $79.99 in AED. I'm not exactly sure what AED is, I'm afraid, but thank you very much. I still appreciate it. One Piece is global. Beautifully global. Oh! That one worked! Whoa! Love your videos. I only watch your One Piece content because of your amazing takes. Can't wait for many more to come. That was crazy! You donated more! Thank you so much. You are far too kind. I never know what to do with big donations because I feel like I don't offer enough. But just know I'm youpee! Like, I don't know what to do with that, but thank you. I will be buying myself a delicious dinner with that donation. Donates again. Wow, thank you. Thrash and Justin are kissing in my YouTube chat right now. They're kissing. They're going mwah, 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 mwah right now in my YouTube chat. This is ridiculous. By the way, do you guys know the origins of Yippee? Because I was shocked to find that a lot of people actually don't know the origins. I thought we all knew the origins of Yippee! Because I was talking to some of my friends and I told them the origins of it and he told his own group and they were all like belly laughing at the origins. And I'm like, how did they not know? The origins! It's a little German boy who gets to drink Fortnite and he gets to play Fortnite and drink cola. How cool is that, Bitten? Us drink us Fortnite und drink Cola. Yippee! It's a little German boy who's very excited and thinks it's so cool that he gets to play Fortnite and drink cola. Mama und seine Ma. I don't know how to say it. Spiel Fortnite und drink Cola. Yippee! But I was shocked when I found out people didn't know. I thought we all knew. I did indeed hear of that bacon apocalypse. How cool is that, bitte? Where is the Kuma page where he is crying because his mama died? Here it is. Okay, it's edit 3. Kumi was strong, you can survive this. Okay, yep, good. Law's German. Law would say, how cool is that? Und Fortnite und drink Cola. Yippee! I'm not making that up. Otis said Law would be from Germany. And it makes so much sense because of the way he processes jokes and physical touch. When he said Law was German, it made me see Law in, like, makes sense, you know? It cracked me up big time. The way he needs a contract to accept friendship, literally. Like, you know what? Law is really a... he's the most German man. German man who hates bread. Listen, Law's a fucking weirdo. We know this. Just because he's German doesn't mean he's like normal, you know? To be honest though, I think there's an implication. The reason Law doesn't like bread is because Corazon didn't like bread. Because if you see Law's likes and dislikes of food, and you see Corazon's likes and dislikes of food, they kind of match up. And we have to remember everything Law was doing in his life at a certain point is because of Corazon. Right? Like, he looked up to Corazon so much that he basically tried to emulate him. Sorry, MT, where are you from? Abu Dhabi. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Hang on. Whoa, these buildings are beautiful. A coastal town. Well, perhaps maybe one day I will visit. I do love going to different countries. Abu Dhabi. Oh. Sorry, look, my geology is awful. Awful. Geology. Geography. Geology is rocks. Yeah, I'm really bad with rocks. I'm horrible with rocks. Hang on, I do need to change this. I think there's too much text on the page and I'm worried that will catch me.
Howdy do, boys!
Howdy do. Drive me crazy. I have a power bang over you. Nothing needed me. The voiceover for the video. This video? The one I'm editing right now? Yes! I wouldn't be editing the images if I hadn't done the audio. Remember the first streamer video project of yours? That was the first professional project. I mean, it was probably the Straw Hat videos. The Doffy one was the beginning. The One Piece video was the first one I ever made for One Piece. And then the Doffy one was directly after that. And that one popped off. And after that was this idea of professionalism. Maybe the Katakuri one? What did I make? Probably the Zoro one. What did I make after the Doffy one? Let's have a looky-loo. One Piece movie 6, Horror and Pirates is what I made. I think the one that felt the most professional to... Thank you. I don't know what to say, but thank you very much. Wow, you are incredibly generous, MT. Incredibly generous. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Listen, it's it's been a hard few months, so I'm not gonna lie. Seeing that kind, like, it's motivating, you know? I really do appreciate that. Also, was that on purpose? $369.99? Thank you so much. Oh, too kind, just way too kind. I'll have you know that money is going in my savings and going towards getting my own place, so I really appreciate it. Sorry, I've got water on my table. Now I feel shy. But the first video that I felt an air of professionalism or felt professional was the Zoro video. Zoro and the Anxiety of Strength. That is the one where I was like, okay, we're really getting into it now. I really feel like this could be my job now. That was 11:03. Oh, this... I hate the scenes with Saturn and Bonnie. I hate them. It's so creepy. No. That is too much. That's too much. You are going to make me cry. Do you realize? Oh my god, that is far too generous. I want to like give you something, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say. You are just you are too kind. You are too kind, but thank you. Thank you so much. I really don't know what to say. Thank you. Oh my god. I will be thinking of you, okay? When I finally get a place. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Just far too kind. There are such kind people out there. But thank you. Wow. I'm flawed. I'm flawed. Thank you. Now I'm like I have to get this video out as fast as possible. I have to. With all this support, I have to. I don't know what to do. If I could do a backflip, that I can totally do. Thank you, Dragon Power. What is happening? What is going on? You don't need to do this, guys. I hope you know that. Like, you don't need to. But it does make my heart feel full. Thank you. I really do appreciate this support. It's just unbelievable to me. Goodness me. You bastards making me all emotional. Look, I'm like awkward. I'm awkward now because I'm like, I don't even want to look at the chat. I feel like I'm looking you in the eye if I look at the chat. Don't pay attention to me. I'm just editing. I'm just editing. You didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. Sing a funny song. What was the Pokemon song? All of these panels are horrible. All of them. Like, they're all horrible. This is the longest time I've spent working on a video, but not because the video itself is difficult, because I've just faced way too many life problems while making this one. And I know it's the longest time I've ever spent on a video because I've gotten so many messages and comments like, are you okay? I appreciate the work you do for us. I love listening to your takes. It never ceases to amaze me. Keep going and I hope the best for you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, support like that really makes me want to keep getting better, you know? Like, I want to keep improving my content, and that kind of support, it really motivates. I really, really, really appreciate it. You make me sick. You make me sick. You make me sick, but thank you. Thank you, thank you. How do I say your name? Gasanovg? 23. Thank you. Gasanov. Listen, if I weren't trying to pronounce your name, I'd just call you Gas. Because you all know that when I pronounce someone's name on here, I just see the first letters and say what's easiest.
Ian!
Oh, now you're pissing me off. Now you're pissing me off. Thrash, you bastard.
Ian!
Pissing me off! Stop that. Thank you, dog, but stop that. Enough! Oh my god, I haven't released any content recently. It's Kev? What happened to you? Why are you lurking on a secret account? Of course Brigley would be the fucking nail in the coffin. Oh! Kev, I'm so sorry! Okay, hang on, context everyone. This is my technically IRL, as in they also live in my city, Kev. But Kevin, I also have a One Piece YouTuber friend named Kev. So I was like, why has he changed his name? To come in my chat and lurk. That's crazy. Thanks, Kev. You didn't need to do that, but I appreciate it. This is it. This is the content, baby. We're contenting. I don't know if I told you guys, but this is a guy I was watching play Silent Hill F. And I watched for a whole 5 minutes and said, this is a feminist game. Kuma. Thrash, applesauce doesn't have a sub. Oh, bunny. Alright. Alright.
Ian!
You're welcome, applesauce. Thank you, Thrash. I'm so excited to get this cut tomorrow. I can't fucking see anything. It's driving me nuts. Oh my god, I'm a hentai pro tag. Now that would be equality. If there were a hentai girl pro tag that you don't see her face. Like this. And she's the one who gets to have fun with the men. That's equality in my books. Someone has to make it. Maybe that should be me. Thank you, Wrath. Feminist hentai. That's just yaoi. I'm so serious. Feminist hentai is just yaoi.
Yeah.
What did we get? No! Here's the emotes! Elf! Oh my god, Elf, send the monkey emote! Yeah! Oh, yeah, yippee! Yeah, thank you, Court Jester. Oh, thank you. How humorous. Oh my god. My wonderful little monkey emote. I am now in a good humor. Court Jester released the beast. No, I didn't expect any of this to happen. I'm just editing like normal. You're really beating Sunji up today, guys. Oh my god, that didn't work. Thrash, give Elf their points back, unless you want me to do that. It's okay, I felt it. Hang on, I'm gonna... So this one works. This one. Okay. Zim, do it too!
Whack his pee-pee.
Okay, and what about Doffy? Alright, they're up and running.
Whack his pee-pee.
Boo-wop. Most cats pee, I think. Truer words have never been said. You should start writing inspirational posters, Elf. Because that one really made me think. Did you guys know we don't know how eels mate? Like, we don't know. And that freaks me out. Like, we don't know how eels have babies. But that's the thing. We have dissected eels. We can't find their sex organs. They have tried to observe them mating in captivity, and they still don't know. We don't know. Elf, that is a sound reasoning. Like, you could be right. The orcas are studying the scientists who are studying them. I didn't know that, but I believe it. Because they're smart. Look how little Bonnie is. I would feel safe if my parent were that big. Well, and they loved me. Thinking about Judge. Wait, hang on, pause. They have to also love me, or I would not feel safe. I just remembered Judge. Oh. I mean, Judge is not as big as Kuma, but he's big. I like that Kuma's basically a big teddy bear. Like, he's Bonnie's big teddy bear. It's very cute. We only had our first footage of sharks mating this year, I believe. Oh, freak. Oh my god. Freaks. Freaks? Leave them alone. Leave them to some privacy. Damn. Aw. Blue.
Howdy
Blue.
do, boys.
Howdy do. Do you guys want to know how anglerfishes mate? You know, the big deep sea fish with the little light bulb on their. It's fantastic. I watched a reel about this. Basically, the males are like this big. They're this big. And the girls are like huge. The males are born with no ability to like eat, with no like digestive organs, I believe. So their sole purpose is to be born, find a female anglerfish, attach themselves to her, and then be used by her whenever she wants to produce eggs. They kind of become her ballsack, basically. So the only way they survive is by attaching themselves to her, and she just uses them whenever she wants to fertilize her eggs. Isn't that insane? Like, why have they evolved in this way? Big Mama. No. Oh. That's horrendous. This is peak design. It's the fact that they're so little. They literally die unless they attach themselves. But they're not a parasite. Because, they are being used. Like, they are literally just full of... they are just full of sperm. They are literally her ballsack. They become her balls, and she uses them to fertilize her eggs. That's not a parasite. That's symbiosis, exactly. Ripley and Gabon. No, Big Mom made more sense. That cracked me up. I can only think Sanji would read that and go, I wish that were me. And that's why I love him. He shed a single tear. It's not fair! Only purpose in life is to be used by big mummy fish. That's it. That is their only purpose. They are born just for that. I could never forget about Ripley because she made my eyes bulge out of my head. I mean, he was nearly that with Black Maria. But he had shit to do. Black Maria is such an icon to me. This music with this panel, it's exactly like what happened yesterday when I was editing Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon. How calming. Blu-ray will have the extended cut edition. Oh, look at them walking. Oh my god, where are they going together? They're on the move. I've never seen them move that fast before. What's the plan, boys? Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm nearly on 45. Let's say we are on 45. All I have to add here is like a sound effect, but I don't want to do that because it's 11:11. Make a wish! And I have to get up early tomorrow. I have 10 minutes left of this video. Only 10 minutes left. That is, considering where we started from, that is not much. And that's exciting. So, I probably won't be editing tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. I have to get up early, and do things during the day, and it exhausts me greatly. So, we'll see how it is, and if I'm not exhausted when I get home, maybe I can edit. It depends. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a big day. So let me get in my box. Yay. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for the subs and the donations today, especially from MelonTeee. Just much too generous. Way too generous for my liking. I really do appreciate it. It's very motivating. I always love editing and making videos for you guys. And if you don't see me tomorrow, God, when will you see me again? I have a busy schedule, unfortunately. Life, house, hunting stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you for the final sub. I have a busy schedule, so I'm hoping maybe Thursday. Maybe. I say that. Okay. Thanks. Thanks. I say that with uncertainty. Anyway, thanks everyone. And I will see you when I see you. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Thank you for the subs, Brig. Bye. 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 Ooh, bye, Kenny!